Hey everyone. So I usually am right in front of the camera doing something interesting or new for me, but this time I just want to talk about something that's been on my mind for a while. I've done this sort of thing once before, so I figured I would do it again. So enjoy this footage of me paddleboarding in the bay, or honestly just tab out and listen if you want. Here we go. The thing I've been dealing with and thinking about is that I'm surrounded by closed doors, or mostly surrounded by closed doors. Ever since I finished college back in January 2022, I've been trying to figure out how I'm gonna take care of myself and where I need to be for that to happen. I've tried a bunch of things and thought of a bunch of ideas. For one example, I had a friend let me stay with him in Berlin for about a month in early 2022 just to see if I would like living there. But honestly, I felt super uncomfortable in that city. Like the second I got there, it felt like all of my inner peace was gone. I still don't understand it to this day. When I visited another German city, however, that feeling immediately went away. But every single time I went back into Berlin, it came right back. And the thing is, I actually had a few options to stay there. My friend's dad owned a company and could have sponsored me. And there was another person willing to let me work for her and sponsored me if it worked out. I liked how Germany ran things as a society, but in the end, it just didn't work out there. When I got home, I tried a few jobs, but none of them really stuck. I had one where the owner lied to me in the interview about the pay and how we were paid, and I found out about that like 3 months into the job, and then I left when I found that out. And another was a server job where I was there for about 2 weeks, and after 2 days of serving, I was forced to quit because I didn't know the POS system well enough and kept on asking questions. And then a third job in early 2023 that turned out to be a pyramid scheme, which I had no clue about going in. Then in late 2023, I tried to go to Denmark and I was there for about a month and a half or so, like 35 to 40 days. And honestly, that might have been the best 30-day stretch of my life. However many days I was there, that amount of days, the best stretch of my life. The cities felt amazing, like a perfect fit for me. The atmosphere was great, the people were great. It was just great. Walking around felt amazing to me like no other place ever has. But even then, none of the jobs I tried to get were willing to hire me. And if I was going to stay there, I'd have to get sponsored, right? But I get it. I'm a foreigner, and Denmark is not exactly really big on hiring people from outside of the EU. It's fine, I understand. I ended up leaving Denmark earlier than planned because I got an interview offer back home for a company that I kind of wanted to work at, and plus, I'd been sick for a while at that point. So I was like, all right, time to go. I really did love my time there, though. The job at that company, that didn't really work out either. And this is early 2024. I got fired. Mostly it was my fault, but also it didn't feel like I was a good fit after I found out that all of my coworkers were talking bad about me behind my back. Ever since then, I've kept trying to get something going, but so many places weren't hiring or there was lots of ghost jobs on the internet. I didn't really understand how to navigate the market and I felt stuck. I prayed about it a lot and it did bring me peace in moments, but that sense of being hopelessly stuck stayed around. Still, there's always hope, and I do legitimately believe that. But yeah, 2024's been rough, or was rough, I should say. I've been trying to get out, but ended up stuck in my room. And it's not that good of a feeling just being in your room with no reason to leave it for a lot of the time. Sure, I could drive anywhere, but like I said, no real reason to drive anywhere, so it just didn't feel like much to me. Anyways, so it's 2025 now, and I've been leading a young adults ministry ever since the start of the year. First with one co leader, now with three others. The ministry itself changed a lot. New people came in, old regulars moved on. And yeah, some of the stuff I really wanted to fix or change actually happened within the ministry, and I'm very grateful for it. But for whatever reason, I still don't feel emotionally connected to it or to most of the people that I'm physically around. And recently, I've started to figure out a little bit of what kind of people I do need to be around. people who slow down, people who don't make me feel like I have to keep performing to take up space. Unironically, those people were the ones that I got to spend time with on this trip, which is some of the footage that you're seeing. But right now, it just doesn't feel like that's what I've got around me out here in New Jersey. And looking at all these closed doors, the jobs, the cities, even the ministry stuff, I don't know what God's doing with it all, but I've been praying about it and I know He's in it somewhere. It still sucks at the moment and it still leaves me floating. But maybe it's because I'm not meant to build a life anywhere with anyone. Maybe I'm meant to keep looking for the place and for the people where it actually feels like home. So, like, day to day, I just find myself in my room a lot. I've done a bunch of things to make being in my room all the time more comfortable. Like, I recently built a new computer. I set up light fixtures that are pretty cool, nano leaves, you might have heard of them, and it makes the quality of life better with just different colors and stuff. Some days I feel hopeful, and other days it feels like I want to stop caring completely. But when that comes up, I don't really give up. Mostly because I don't think I'm even capable of giving up, if that makes sense. I've given myself so many random challenges, like in video games or projects, that I just get stuck on for over a month because I can't quit. I've literally been in so many situations in them when I'm like, man, I really wish I could just give this up right now because I do not like trying, but I kept on going until I got it, and it honestly felt great. So I'm not too worried about giving up completely, but sometimes while I'm struggling, I'll just be like, what's it gonna take, huh? Like, just shouting at the clouds, like, what's it gonna take? So, like I said, I've prayed a lot about it. I used to ask God just to tell me straight up what He wants me to do, but I realized that if I had all the answers, it wouldn't really be faith, would it? Now, I don't really ask Him for exact directions as much. Mostly, I just ask Him to help me trust Him fully, because I trust Him to, like, a degree. Maybe it's like 50%, 80%, 90%, but I want that to be 100%. And yeah, sometimes I'll still ask for specific things as they come up, but mainly I just ask Him to keep me going mentally, to sustain me. But after this trip, I figured out that what I actually want, where I actually want to be, where I could be. You always hear people say, love what you do, like that's the only way to enjoy life. And that's what most of us grew up being told. But honestly, that's just one way to love your life and to enjoy living. Another underrated way is to love where you are. Another is to love the people you're with. I'm sure there are plenty of other ways to love life that I'm not even going to try to list right now. But my point is, this trip showed me the type of people I want to be around, and it showed me what type of place I think I would actually do well in. And for the first time in a while, I know how that feels, and I'm able to hold on to that. And I did kind of have an idea of where I'd want to be, but that's in a currently unobtainable place. And of course, I'm talking about across the river in Europe, river being the ocean. I don't really know when, where, or how the state of being stuck will end, but I'm hopeful and honestly excited to see it end. I'm not gonna give up just because it's hard, because that would be giving up on God and telling Him that His timing isn't perfect, that what He's doing for me isn't enough. And not only is that giving up on God, that's giving up on myself. And my faith is not going to die in the waiting room or on the operating table. I'm definitely appreciative of what I already have, and ironically, getting to where I'd like to be would actually mean having less, not more, at least materialistically. And I'm completely okay with that. But yeah, I'm still floating for now, and I think I'm finally floating in the right direction. So thanks for listening to this, and have a great day, guys. Okay, hey guys, thank you very much for watching that or listening to that. Um, So that's it for the main video part, and I put the other part of the video at the end just because I feel like interrupting like the monologue or the ideas that I was getting out wouldn't have really worked. So I'm just putting this part at the end. So if you wanted to just hear me talking about the closed doors and see me float on the bay, you can leave now. That part of the video is over. But if you want to stick around for a bit, this is just me sharing a little bit of a scripture with you guys. I'm going to share the verse, what it means to me, how it helps me, and how I think it can help you too. So without further ado, this is in Matthew chapter 11, verses 28 and 29, and it reads like this. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me. I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find the rest for your souls. So basically here, Jesus wants us to lean on him when we're struggling with burdens of any kind. Sin, acts, tiredness, any of it. And essentially, he says, come to me, not all of you who are like doing great, all of you who are like feeling great. And you absolutely can. But he's specifically in this instance talking to those who feel burdened, who like, if life is just tiring you out, you know what I mean? And get this, he says, take my yoke upon you. So if I remember correctly, a yoke back in the day was those things that you use to like oxen, camels, whatever like the transport animal was that was most commonly used. It might have been donkeys even. The yokes was like a string that you used to, and they pulled you, and basically like you didn't like push the oxen yourself. You didn't like have them pull you along while you're in a carriage. Or why am I saying oxen? This isn't colonial America. But the animals didn't pull you. You didn't like they didn't pull you just because you made them. Like you had on a yoke and they pulled you forward. And basically he's saying, take my yoke, which is kind of like, I will show you the way. That's kind of what I'm trying to articulate. Sorry. But how it helps me is honestly, like with seasons of waiting, especially if you feel like your breaking point is like reaching, like if you've been waiting for something for a very long time, like say that you've wanted a spouse, because that's something that a lot of people that are similar to my age really want, a spouse, and you're getting to be like almost 40 years old or something like that, and you're just like, man, I've been waiting forever, like this is getting really discouraging, I'm about to give up, like that sort of thing. Just keep remembering that you have to keep on leaning on him. Pray to him more. When you sin, when you hurt, when you feel happy, even though that's not exactly who he's talking to in this instance, he still wants you to pray to him when you feel happy. When you lose someone, when you're tired of waiting, just pray to him more and spend more time to him and lean on him more. And let his influence take his influence and just lean on him and remember his love and remember that he has great intentions and plans for you. So yeah, that was the verse. It's helped me a lot recently in lots of these seasons of waiting. And honestly, like the thing that I've been waiting for to happen, my sense of urgency is not even like that high on it anymore, which is fantastic. So because I just know that Jesus has a better plan than whatever mine is, and I trust him with that wholeheartedly, and I genuinely believe that. So I'm happy to trust him and lean on him and wait on him. So that's how it helped me. Hopefully this helps you, and that's verse. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Have a great day.